Let's see if I try to make a cool entrance or. Whoop, don't even slide. Proteins. All right. It's been a while since I made a video. All right, shake it off. First video back. It's not going to be perfect. Everybody wants change, better habits, better body, better mindset, better life. But not very many people are willing to put in the hard work required to change said situation. People think they just need motivation. Maybe they're going to wait until they feel ready. But none of those things actually correlate to the change that most people inspire to have or inspire to create in their life. So today I want to talk about the real reason people don't change and some reasons on how to fix it. All right, so the first point I want to illustrate to you guys is that you're not stuck where you are. You're just comfortable. There's always the option and the ability to change it if you so choose. You have pain on one hand and then discomfort on the other. Most people say that, they want to change their life, they want to make specific changes, but their actions speak otherwise. I spent years of my life telling myself I have all these goals, I have all these dreams, I want to do this. I've mentioned many times before, when I first created my YouTube channel, I was like, I want to create a YouTube channel for X, Y, and Z reason. My reason is to just change one person's life, help them avoid the obstacles and trials and tribulations that I had made in my young adult life. And it's not always an easy thing. And so change requires discomfort now, and staying the same only promises pain later on. So there's really no point in delaying that inevitability, because there's just no way around it. So if you're comfortable, right, and you aren't creating or you aren't taking actionable steps to change your life right now, then you're telling your brain subconsciously that I'm fine with where I'm at. So things like you want to be in better shape, but you're not willing to change the habits required to go out and exercise, even if it's, walking or going to the gym, whatever the case is. You want to lose body fat. You want to, reconfigure your shape. You're not willing to eat healthier, right, on the day-to-day basis. These kinds of things all correlate to why you're more in a comfortable environment that you're not willing to step out of. It's not that you're stuck. I think that's a common misbelief that a lot of people have, is like, I just can't get out of where I'm currently, the situation I'm currently in. And it's absolutely not the case. You're just choosing not to pursue the change required to get you out of that situation. All right, point number 2 I want to bring up, that I think is probably one of the more important aspects of being able to create change in your life, is that you identify with your old identity. And I always speak on personal experience. You just cannot make the changes required if you are still the same person that you were before. We have all these habits, but habits are, they're just habits. Like, you are the habits. You are the one that creates the foundations, both good and bad. And if you're still stuck in that same mindset, that same mentality, you're trying to build a new life, but you're still the same person. So you got to fix internally what those issues are. You don't get up early enough to, do X, Y, and Z. Let's just take a simple example as getting to work, and trying to get to work with a good attitude and go to work with a good mindset and have a great day. Don't you think it would be a little easier if you were to get up in the morning and maybe have a cup of coffee, do something that, stimulates your brain? Or maybe it's get up with your family and spend some time with them. Like, find just that little bit of happiness to kind of continue to put you in positions where you can change that aspect of your life. As always, it's like those types of situations that I can remember in my life, just take again the example of work. It's like, why am I miserable at work? Well, it's not just the work that sucks, even though it's something I maybe know I'm not going to do for the rest of my life. In essence, I'm getting up. If I got to work at 8:30, I'm getting up at 8 o'clock, and I'm trying to rush for a shower, and I don't have enough time to eat. And then I just have coffee. And then next thing you know, I I'm 3-4 hours in and I'm shaking and my blood sugars are low. I mean, there's so many different things you can create as an example for that, but those are just some of the things that are going to curtail your efforts in making the positive changes that you want to see or not. So think about where you're at now and where you want to go. Are you the person that you want to be right now? No, but you need to decide if the person that you are now is what you want to be for the rest of your life. And it's not, then you need to take those actionable steps to change and evolve into the person that can become what you're trying to achieve. All right, point number 3 is you're waiting for feelings instead of building a standard. So a lot of people wait for that emotion, that motivation that drives them to do whatever action they're looking to take. Take this example right here. This is the first YouTube video I've made since maybe the last quarter of 2025. There's a lot that happened at the end of 2025 that maybe I'll touch on on a later video. But at the end of the day, something happened that triggered my let's just call it procrastination or lack of motivation to sit down in front of the camera, set up, look over a topic, figure out how I want to go about talking about it, and if it's even going to be value to you guys. Obviously, my goal in helping you change. And the longer I kept waiting, the longer I kept putting it off, it just kept getting kicked down the road. And so I always was waiting for like, all right, well, maybe tomorrow I'll have maybe the desire or I'll feel a little bit more motivated to get down there and set up and take the time required to get another video out to you guys. And not just to you guys, but for myself, of course, because this gives me as much value as I hope it does for you guys. And so you got to be able to you have to be able to pursue what you're trying to pursue, your goals, your ambitions, whether it's professionally or personally, without the feelings of motivation or feeling ready. You have to create the standards that allow you to do it no matter how you feel. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And it's not an easy thing to do because feelings are so powerful. And when you are in this, call it a rut, or maybe you're in this series of, maybe you've put together a series of weeks, maybe it's months, maybe it's years of not taking action on the goals you're trying to pursue, but you're still telling yourself like, these are the things I want to do. As you can see, there's just no alignment there. So building standards, do not rely on just feelings to push you into the direction you need to go. Feelings will come after the action. The more action you take, the better feelings will help propel you to do more and more. It's called momentum, right? So building momentum, push those feelings to the side the best you can. And, like, again, take this video, for instance. This is the first one I've done in a long time. And it's taken me a little while to get going. My mind is foggy. I'm not getting to my points exactly the way I'd want to. I'm not as clicky with my flow, and I'm rusty, and I'm sure you guys can tell, but I'm going to post this shit anyways, because this is going to be the building block to build momentum, to continue to create that consistency back like I had in the beginning of 2025, middle 2025. And so just do it, man. Like, there's no other way around it. Don't worry about your feelings. Start your actions today. So the shift that you need to make all this happen, the fix that you're looking for, is you need to stop asking yourself, how do I get motivated? Because, 9 times out of 10, motivation might not ever come. Some days it will, right? Especially as I just illustrated, once you have momentum, motivation will seemingly get a little easier and easier for you. And it just kind of happens. You don't have to force yourself to get motivated. Your action, your goals, that pursuing, the consistency, the feelings that you have after creating the actions will continue to propel you forward. But that practical shift needs to be, how do I get motivated? Well, then instead ask yourself, who do I not want to be anymore? Do you want to be the person that wakes up late for work? Do you want to be the person that stays up late, maybe playing video games till 2 a.m, like I used to do back in the day, or like many people do? Do you want to be the person that doesn't practice good physical standards, right? Do you exercise? Do you eat well? Are you feeding your mental, your physical, and your spiritual well-being, which are all so important to the equilibrium of being healthy. And in those environments, that allows you to foster all these things, and it just continues to push it even further. You can, obviously start by just doing one. I tell people all the time, because I've had to tell myself, don't try to do everything at one time, because it does get overwhelming. You will eventually overwhelm your brain. So start with small wins, repeatable actions. You need to create that new self-trust in yourself. So again, touching on my example here, my body is fighting me so hard, right now, getting these points out to you guys, talking in front of a camera. It's very foreign, because it's been, even though it hasn't been quote unquote that long since I've done it, I can just feel it in my body, the resistance. My brain's telling me, you're in uncharted territory. You haven't done this in a while. Maybe you should just, stop, or maybe you should restart and do it all over again. But, it's going to be messy. But change and becoming the person that you can be and want to be is going to be messy every step of the way. Eventually, you'll get that steam rolling. You'll get that momentum going in the right direction, and things will get a little bit easier from that perspective. Not easier as in it won't be hard, but you just got to build that new self-trust. And so at the end of the day, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you are not the person you want to be, internalize all these different things. Stop asking yourself all the questions about, do I need, do I need to wait for motivation? Do I need to do X, Y, and Z? No, you don't know. You don't need any of that stuff. You just need to take deliberate action every single day in the face of discomfort in order to begin changing your life. All right, guys. So again, choose. The reason you haven't changed is because you haven't chosen to live the life that you're wanting to live. Wake up every day, put action toward that, and then everything will begin to shift for you. Okay. So we'll cut the video off here. Appreciate you guys watching as always. I'll get a little bit better at this once I get a little more momentum behind me, start getting some of these points out a little bit quicker. But yeah, just post it, whatever it is, just do it. It's going to be uncomfortable, and that change you're looking for will happen. Just got to put a little bit of hard work and effort into it. And comment down below, what is one thing in 2026 that you're looking to change that's been very hard for you to do. I'll just tell you, for me, it's been finding ways to get back into the groove with some of these goals that I've been thinking about and have desired to achieve the last 5 years of my life. Creating a community, fell a little bit off at the end of 2005. Had some things happen that life just throws at you. I've been there before. I know how to overcome them. So we'll overcome them, and we'll get back to doing this thing, and we'll help each other get better every day. So we'll see you in the next video, guys.